Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we're doing a pick a card reading and we're asking this simple question: who are you? Who are you? We're gonna find out, okay? Now this pick a card reading, I'm doing something a little bit different. We're using tarot cards, oracle cards, crystals, but I'm also going to do some automatic writing as well. This is something I do sometimes in my personal readings with people, and I thought, why don't I do that on YouTube? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at all of your cards and automatically write down the just phrases that just kind of flow out of me, like without consciously thinking about it, okay? So let's get into it. Okay, so everybody take a moment to breathe deeply and relax. Ask yourself, who am I really? Who am I? And then once you feel ready, select the card pile which you feel most drawn to. We have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll give you a moment to breathe, relax, and select the card pile which is really calling out to you. If you feel drawn to pick like 2 cards, maybe 3, that's totally okay. Hi, Luna. I'll leave some timestamps in the description box, okay? If you want to jump ahead. Okay, if you selected group number 1 or this moonstone, this is for you. I wrote a lot down for you guys. This is gonna be a fun pick a card reading. I honestly think that I'm gonna start doing automatic writing more often because I got so much on you. I got so much tea on you. So let's see who you are. You guys got Scorpio and Aries. You could be one of these signs, have these signs a lot in your chart, or just overall exhibit the type of personality that a Scorpio or an Aries would typically have. You don't even have to have these signs, or you're surrounded by a lot of people with these signs, okay? When I did my own reading just to check out to see if this would be a nice question to ask, I got Cancer and Scorpio because I'm a Cancer and I'm surrounded by Scorpios, okay? So it's just overall the energy that is you. Scorpio is a water sign, very mysterious, very you stand up for what you believe in and you love very deeply, but you are harsh to people who do not, yeah. And then you have Aries, which is a fire sign, very fun-loving, energetic, and you're very open-minded, learn a lot, and also very passionate. These are 2 very passionate signs, so you're a very passionate, lively individual. No one will ever call you boring in your lifetime, that is for sure, okay? So let's get into your cards. You got the Ace of Cups reversed, 9 of Pentacles reversed, the Chariot reversed, and the Fool reversed. And you know, just because they're all reversed doesn't mean like it's anything bad. We're going to get into the card meanings. Now, from another deck, you got the 5 of Stones, Endurance, and the 9 of Arrows reversed, Dedication. Okay, and then you got, I'm just going to go over all the cards, then we'll get into the meaning because we have a lot written down here. Body and Mind, this is the 11 of Air, and 7 of Air reversed. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into what we have written down here, shall we? So what I see is that you guys are going to have a little bit of trouble getting yourself established right away as an adult. This could be delays in moving out of your parents' home, delays in getting your career off the ground, delays in like forming a serious relationship. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be on the struggle bus your whole like early adulthood. This just means it's gonna take a little bit longer for you to grow into your adult self, okay? Which is something that a lot of Aries, it's an Aries trait because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and it represents, you know, youth. So your youth is gonna be a little bit extended and you're gonna have a little harder of a time you know, establishing your career, moving out on your own, developing a really serious relationship, etc. However, because this is not a bad thing, once you do get established, And once, you know, you do move out, once you do have that career, once you do get that serious relationship, it's really gonna be there. Like, it's there for good, okay? So even if it's like financial struggles you grow up with, like you haven't had money your whole life, once you do got that money rolling in, it's not gonna stop. It's gonna be very secure. Once you do get that serious relationship, it's gonna really be there because you went on that struggle bus. You endured, okay? Your early life is not easy if you selected group number 1. There were things you have to endure, you know? Barely making ends meet. Sticking it out with your parents for a little bit, sticking it out with your family or friends or whoever you're living with before you get your own place. Working, you know, retail jobs, working fast food jobs, really just enduring life, okay? You're definitely, I have written down here, you're not exactly privileged, okay? When growing up, you don't have all the privileges that, say, like, I don't know, like a rich white kid would get. It's just like, there's a little bit of struggle in your life, but it builds character. And once you do finally establish yourself as an adult and have your career and have your home and your relationship, it's really going to be there. Now, we also saw on the cards here this 9 of Pentacles reversed, which I found fascinating. There's a lot of potential for you to be an entrepreneur, a self-employed person, a freelancer, someone really creative like that, kind of creating your own career. So that's very interesting. If you're interested in that, you will find success in that. It might take a few years to get your business ideas off the ground, but you are a very loyal type of person. You have Scorpio, which is like one of the most loyal signs there is, and Aries, which is also pretty loyal. So you're loyal to yourself and your ideas. Now, this actually came out as one of your setbacks as well too. Your greatest lesson in life, which is shown by the 7 of Air reversed. You might have some problems not accepting other people who don't share your beliefs, okay? Some problems being so loyal to your belief system, so loyal to yourself, that when you run into someone who has a completely different mindset or different ideas and beliefs, you don't accept them right away, okay? Let's just read off some of the notes I have here. They're kind of random. Fitness, mountain climber attitude. Being into fitness or even mountain climbing might be something that you dive into at some point in your life. I feel like Aries is a very active, fit sign usually. So that might be something there. Why did I write that down? I don't know why I wrote that down. Body and mind. This is one of your most important cards. You want your body and mind in peak condition. So you're always constantly striving to improve your mental health. You're always constantly striving to eat better, to work out more, to just be a better person. You're very serious about that. You have a very open mind. You cannot stand closed-minded individuals. You know those people who like have a belief system and they don't even know why they believe in it? You know, like their parents believed in one thing, so now they believe in it, and they're just completely closed off to any other possible ideas or things like that, you know, like Trump supporters. You hate people like that. You cannot stand closed-minded individuals who are like totally like racist and anti-LGBTQ and, you know, just, you don't like those people, and you have no problem letting them know that you do not like them. That is, oh man. Anyways, throughout your life, you're gonna discover a lot of hidden truths. You're gonna be awakened to, you know, different things about society, conspiracy theories, how the government works, just kind of discovering more, learning about how other countries handle things like politics and recycling and global warming as opposed to your own. Things like that. Like, you're always discovering something new. You're always filling your brain with more knowledge, and, you know, you're just very open-minded, and you like digging for truths. You like solving the mysteries of the universe, and that's why you have this Scorpio card here. That's a very Scorpio thing to do, is to discover all these conspiracy theories and hidden truths and ask more questions. You're always asking questions, which is awesome. You're not, okay, yeah, we said that. Holistic health is key. Mind and body are one. This is something you're gonna learn in your life, that your mind affects your body and your body affects your mind, you know? For example, people with depression, it's not just a chemical imbalance in your brain. Maybe you're depressed because your physical circumstances aren't great. You don't have money. you don't like the job you're at, you don't feel like you have a sense of worth there, or you're not in your peak physical condition and you just feel really gross about it, and you're not exercising enough, and that contributes to depression. Your mind and body are interconnected, okay? And this is one of the biggest lessons you'll learn. See, if you look at the card here, let's just focus on that. His mind is connected to the body, okay? It's very spiritual, very esoteric, or whatever they say. You're going to learn the importance of this, and this is going to be like one of the key factors in your life. So working with the chakra system would be a really great thing to do. Making sure you're working out regularly, taking care of your physical body as well as your mental health, because you understand that they're interconnected. If you're being a couch potato for a week and eating all junk food, you know naturally you are going to be depressed. Or if you're like super depressed and overthinking about negative things, that's going to have an effect on your physical body, and you might feel fatigued or sluggish, okay? They're connected, they're one, you're one working system. That is one of the biggest pieces of knowledge you're gonna learn in this lifetime, and live off of that philosophy. You love arguing, you love debating with dumb people. You make it your personal mission to open up the minds of people who are closed-minded, and you really don't like them. But this is one of your biggest setbacks as well in life. It's like one of your fiery traits, one of your passionate things, but it's also one of your biggest setbacks. Just because someone doesn't have the same beliefs as you doesn't mean you should cut them off. Doesn't mean, you know, you should just stop listening to them. If you select a group number 1, this is a real problem in your life, actually, and this is one of the soul contracts you signed up for this life and came into this life to kind of resolve this karma that you carry, this personality trait that you carry, where if someone doesn't have the same belief system as you, you shut them down. And this could be with anything. This could be like maybe you're religious, and you know, if someone's not the same sector of religion as you, you can't marry them or talk to them or be friends. Or more likely for a lot of you, if someone's not the same political belief system as you, they're dumb and you shouldn't talk to them, and you're gonna cut them off. Like, you can't have any friends who have different political beliefs than you. Or, you know, if someone, you know, doesn't believe in this, that, or the third, I can't talk to them. Or, you know, this could also, it doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal, you can have this sense of dogma and fundamentalism regardless, and this is something you have to work on. So try to be kind to people who don't share your belief system, because if you just argue with these people and get mad, they're not going to change their belief system. They're just going to be like, okay, well, that person's angry and dumb. How you can genuinely make change in people's belief systems is by being kind to them, and kindly, passionately but quietly expressing your viewpoint and listening to their viewpoint and understanding them. I think that's just, kindness is key. Try not to cut people off because they don't share the same beliefs as you, okay? That's like the number one thing you should learn in this lifetime. Other than that, fiery person, very loyal. You're gonna have a beautiful career, a beautiful love life, and just all this progress be made in your life. It's just gonna take more time to build up, because, and you know what, all things that are super stable in life and super abundant, they do take time to build up. So don't lose hope if you've been trying to, you know, get your career together, get your love life together, your finances, things like that. It takes time and consideration, and you know, you'll gently build it up over time and it won't crumble down. You're building something strong and healthy in this life. Okay, so in the beginning of your life, say like childhood, teenage years, early adulthood, you might be a little bit on the struggle bus, maybe struggling financially or just trying to get your life together. But in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on, all that struggle is gonna be worth it, because you've built something super stable in your life, a very fulfilling life for you. So yeah, that is who you are, group number 1. Very passionate, very loyal, very open-minded. Into your body, into your mind, you're just like looking to build the peak of health, okay? So that's great. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one where we talk about anything you want, the link to that is in the description box. Bye. Okay, if you selected group number 2 or this amethyst, this is for you. I have the cards out here. I did an entire page of writing for basically who you are. So we start off with this journey card in reverse. We have this 10 of air, which is beautiful. Let me just focus. 10 of air. You have the Ace of Bows, Justice, the Emperor, Nine of Wands, the Wheel reversed. Let me just put these cards down. And the Ten of Arrows. And your two astrological cards are Pisces and Gemini. You could be have these signs recur a lot in your natal chart, or be surrounded by people with these signs, or overall just exhibit the energies of these two signs. So Pisces is very deep thinking, daydreamer, nighttime dreamer, very spiritual, just overall very deep thinking and emotional. It's a water sign. And then Gemini is, again, very thinking, very intelligent though, social, and can be a little bit bipolar at times, okay? Both great signs though, okay? So let's dive into it. Who are you at the core of your being? I'm just gonna dive into what I wrote down. All of your life experiences shape you into a better person. Okay, we see that with the journey reversed. You are someone you already have gone through many hard life experiences, but also a lot of positive life experiences. So that's where that Gemini energy is coming out. You've had to go through so much in life so far, but you've also had so many blessings at the same time. So it's like you've been at the top of mountains and at the very bottom of valleys, okay? Like, that's the type of energy I'm picking up for you. You've had some incredibly hard challenges in this life, but also some incredible blessings. So just look at the card, really. Like, you have this light side to you and this dark side to you. All the blessings and wonderful memories you've already established, and then all of the challenges and traumas you've already had, okay? You have had the best of both worlds. Well, can there really be a best of challenges and traumas? No. But anyways, this card in reverse shows that your life is kind of marked with this idea that you're going through extreme challenges in your life. You've been brought so low that you've questioned life at times, like, do I even want to be here? But you've also had intense good times. Your biggest life lesson is every experience is a lesson that helps me grow, good and bad. And this is kind of teaching you how to have this grace. So right now, you're learning how to take the worst experiences you've ever been through and find beauty in them, okay? So for example, if you've gone through like a really bad breakup, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, what did that relationship teach you? You're a stronger person because you've been through that relationship. You know more about human psychology and relationships because you've been through this awful experience. And it could be anything. Perhaps you've been in an abusive relationship, a narcissistic relationship, and that has taught you how to stand up for yourself and to protect your boundaries. I think learning boundaries is something that you are going to have to learn at some point in your life. So you might have been brought into abusive relationship dynamics, whether family, friends, romance. This could be being caught up with narcissists or just overall difficult life situations you've had, but also really great ones at the same time. And the reason why is because these extremely difficult situations, these dark situations we're put into, they yield the biggest amount of growth, okay? Oh my God, I think Mr. Rogers said this at some point in time. He said, those who go through the greatest challenges in life are oftentimes closer to God, or whatever he said. And that's true. The bigger the life challenges you go through, the more growth you can experience in this lifetime, and the more you can accomplish, and the greater, you have a just deeper character than the people around you, you know? If someone doesn't grow up with any challenges whatsoever, they become super like privileged, and their sense of like what to get mad at is so skewed. Like, that's when you see people who freak out because like Starbucks got their order wrong and they're like, I didn't order this, let me talk to your manager. The reason why is because they had hardly any challenges in their life and they view that as like this huge problem. Whereas people who actually had real problems in their life are some of the most calmest, kindest people ever. So that is why you've gone through some difficult life situations, is to break your heart open to experience this deep amount of grace in your life. And we see this in this card. It's so peaceful, all this pastel colors, just very unique, individual. And we have the eye here that's open, that shows your awareness of the world around you. And you know, it's just frustrating to see other people freak out over the little things. I think you're a very zen vibe, like good vibes type of person. It stresses you out when other people are stressed out. Like if someone's freaking out, stressed out, you're just like, calm down. And that's that Pisces in you. So that's really cool. Let's see what else we wrote down. Your biggest challenge in life is learning to not repeat or fixate on the past. Because you've been through difficult life situations, it can become easy to become resentful of that, like resentful of your parents and how you were raised, resentful of, you know, the negative situations you've been in, instead of using them to learn and grow and set better boundaries and achieve more in your life. One challenge you're gonna have to overcome is learning to not repeat the past by avoiding the lessons. If you avoid a lesson that a relationship or a situation is teaching you, that is just gonna kind of repeat and repeat and repeat until you learn how to not repeat the past and get out of that cycle. So this could be like cycles of abuse, cycles of just awful situations that you will have to end at some point in your life, and you'll know what it is, whatever cycles you have to end. Yeah. Then I wrote down very individual and unique. Okay, and we see this with this 10 of air. You're very unique, very individual. No one in this world is like you, essentially. You're very different. That can cause some feelings of isolation at times, but for the most part, you love how different you are, which is amazing. What else? You do not hide your beliefs or yourself. So not only are you unique, but you aren't afraid of showing your uniqueness. Okay, you are like, you wear what you want, you say what you want, you are not afraid to share your opinion, and honesty is the best policy for you as well. You aren't someone who just tells people what they want to hear. You tell people your genuine viewpoint. You tell people what you genuinely are like observing and picking up from them. Like, you're not gonna lie to someone just to please them. In fact, the idea of that skeeves you out. That's that Gemini energy. You're just straight up, which I love. And we have the Justice card here to confirm that as well. And you know, you are also someone who fights for justice and fairness, honesty, kindness. Like, these are all traits of yours. You are a very kind person. You want everyone to have equal opportunities. Like, you're just very fair. You're just a nice person. Very nice. Okay. Let's see what else I wrote down. Past can cause you to be mistrusting and guarded. That's why it's important for you to not be resentful towards your past. And we see that here. It's like a little bit mistrusting, a little bit guarded. Like when you meet someone, you're just like slow to kind of open up to them. Past negative experiences can become greatest source of strength or biggest hindrance. It's up to you. So your past challenges and traumas, they can become your greatest weakness because they cause you to become guarded and broken and, you know, having all type of mental health issues. But they can become your greatest strength if you decide to work through them and, you know, learn from them and grow from them. They'll become your greatest strength because you can then turn around and help other people who are in similar circumstances as you were. So for example, like if you have a repetitive cycle of being like matched up with abusive partners, if you learn from it and learn, actually, I have to set my boundaries and, you know, realize my self-worth and move on from these people and find people who are genuinely gonna love me and treat me right and respect me. You can then turn around and teach other people that. And you can help other people who you notice are in abusive relationships, and you know, you can tell them, I was in one too, and I had all these signs show up in my relationship that are and I'm seeing them in your relationship. You have all these red flags, so let me help you with this. It's like the wounded healer. You have a very wounded healer energy about you, where you are one of the greatest healers. and it comes from your own past pain. You had to heal yourself, and therefore you were given the knowledge of how to heal others as well, because you were like broken down so much, broken down to the point where you thought like you could not possibly build yourself back up. Okay, that is how like hard some situations in your life was, but you were forced to sit there and put the pieces back together and crawl your way out of this hole of emotions. And because of that, you learned how to crawl up. You learned how to piece yourself back together, and now you are healed and stronger than ever, and you also have the knowledge of how to help others heal as well. And you could be a very great teacher or role model, or even just a friend, because you help guide others, you help teach others to become a better version. You're a great motivator, you're very inspirational, very kind, because of the challenges you went through. You had to go through those challenges in order to become the very kind, graceful, and inspirational human being that you are today. So it's amazing. You guys are very important as well. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of good in this lifetime. Yeah, so you have this student-teacher aspect about life. All of your life experiences, you learn something from them, and you also teach to other people. You don't have to be an actual teacher. It's just your personality. You love helping others work on their problems, helping teach others whatever you learned and whatever you're passionate about. So it's awesome. Passionate about life in general with this Ace of Bows here and the Emperor. Very passionate about life. I wrote down high sex drive. It's just something I'm picking up. I don't know what to tell you. High sex drive, high energy. Very passionate about life. You're low-key adventurous as well. Like, you just have really big goals. And adventurous in like the sense of like, yeah, you want to travel and see new things, but you also want to experience new things. And you know, try new things all the time. You know, you're someone who likes drastic changes here and there just to spice things up again. Like, you'll cut all your hair off just for the fun of it, or you know, go skydiving, or you know, just start your own YouTube just because. Like, you're just that type of person. You have a lot of sacral energy, like a lot of creativity, a lot of excitement about life, a high sex drive, so that's fun. But yeah, the Emperor is also a really good card. You're very organized in general, logical thinking, and you're someone who like writes down a to-do list and you get that to-do list done. Like, and I feel like your traumas and overcoming them has helped you become more organized in your life, and you understand the importance of being organized. You understand the importance of like making your bed every day and being grateful every day and setting out a to-do list every day. Like, those things are important to you because it adds structure to your life, and you understand that structure and routine helps people heal and become their best versions. It's almost like you had to reparent yourself. The wheel reverse shows massive life changes and psychic abilities that come from like just overall. There will be points in your life where you feel like luck's not on your side, like, why am I going through this? But then you realize like, I can take control here. I can, you know, create my own life and let my bad experiences become my best experiences. Like, I can make that decision and I can make that happen and make beautiful life changes for myself. Like, you're really learning how to take control in your life, and you know, you're now the person who's in charge rather than fate. Like, you're in charge of your own life. You're being connected to good life experiences because you make your own luck essentially. That's your mindset. And you'd be really good in a career like motivating people or inspiring people or helping other people heal or get organized, anything in like psychology or anything like that. But you don't have to be that. That's just something you're naturally good at. You might even just express that to your friends and family. Alright, so thank you guys for joining me. You're lovely people, very kind. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear how this resonated with you in the comment box. And if you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is in the description. Bye. Okay, if you selected group number 3 or this rose quartz, this is for you. I have all your cards laid out and I wrote down a whole page worth of information from Spirit talking about you. So your first card out, we have Choice Reversed. Oh Jesus, I can't pick it up. Choice Reversed. Let's just adjust the camera. That's what it looks like upright. You have Perception. You have the 9 of Stones, Tradition. Hierophant reversed. King of Cups reversed. Six of Swords reversed. Ace of Wands, one of my favorite cards. Four of Arrows, rest. And then your two astrology cards are Libra and Leo. You might be one of these signs, or you might exhibit these signs, or the traits of these signs, or just have these signs show up a lot in your natal chart, or maybe you're just connected to a lot of Leos and Libras, and you know, you just have that type of personality. A Leo is someone, Leo energy is it's fiery, very beautiful, exciting. You're like social glue. You're like very social and out there, and you're not afraid to be yourself, very bold. Okay. And then Libra is the sign of romance and love and relationships and beauty. So right off the bat, I could tell that you're very physically beautiful. You just might not see it. Okay. Other people see it, and other people are always telling you how beautiful you are as a person, how beautiful you look, things like that, and you might have trouble seeing that. Anyways, I heard something weird. So let's see what we have written down for you guys. Sorry. First thing I wrote down was extremely alternative, unique, and different. And I see that in the Hierophant reversed. You're very, it's so weird because the Hierophant is all about tradition. Reversed, it's like you go against tradition, but then you have the tradition card. So it's very interesting. I think you're like aesthetically, you might like have your own little aesthetic, your own sense of fashion, and you're just like a weirdo in a good way, in the best way possible. I love weirdos. You're very different from other people around you, but you still admire traditional things in life. You know, you might admire the value of a family, or the security of you know, just having like family traditions and repeating things. You're just a very sentimental being, I feel. You're a big ball of emotion, and I'm pretty sure, yep, that was the next thing I wrote down. A big ball of emotions, okay? You're very loving. You love so deeply. You get teary-eyed. I don't know why. I keep having this vision of you like crying very easily. And just being a very sentimental person. Like little knickknacks probably make you sentimental. Gifts. Holidays with family, time spent with family, like you get very sentimental very easily because those things are really important to you. And I feel like if you select group number 3, the rose quartz, you are someone who probably values family a lot and is going to have your own beautiful family one day, if not already. So that's fun. Very sentimental towards family, friends, and relationships. So even in romantic relationships, even with your friends, like you just love very deeply, and you'll literally talk to anyone about anything. You don't care. You form very deep, close connections easily, rather easily. Even if you're an introvert, like this comes natural to you. You have a hard time letting go of objects, people, and situations. So you might be a little bit of a hoarder. You have a hard time like throwing objects out because you're like, well, I might use that one day, or oh, it's very sentimental. And same thing with people that should be thrown out of your life. You have a hard time doing that. You know, you kind of just, you love everyone and you love deeply. And you know, you don't judge people often, and you don't judge people for their shortcomings or for even sometimes treating you badly. You kind of keep people around, and you don't like letting go. Yeah, same thing with situations. You're the type of person that would work a job they hate forever, okay, for much longer than needed. And I feel like a lot of you guys probably had a hard time, or are having a hard time like letting go. I don't know how old you are. I was gonna say letting go of like your teenage job and like starting your own career. Like that might have been a difficult transition for you, if you even gone through that transition yet. You just have a hard time letting go of situations and people and things like that because you're so sentimental. Now I wrote in all caps, like really big, needs to learn how to be alone, because I think this is one of your things. You have the King of Cups reversed, and this is where that emotion comes in. Very emotional, very sentimental, and just watery, a big ball of emotion. But in reversed, I feel like you have some trouble handling your own emotions. Sometimes they can become overwhelming to you, and sometimes you just straight up don't process your emotions in a healthy way. This could be like lashing out on people. This could be just becoming depressed or anxious. Just, poor coping mechanisms. Sorry. And the reason why is because you need to learn how to be alone. That's what I wrote down. At some point in your life, you're really gonna need to learn how to be alone. I feel like a lot of people who select group number 3 are extroverted. You just love being around people, and it brings you comfort, and you love talking to people. And whenever you have a problem, you have no issue talking about that problem to your friends and family. And sometimes you might be a little bit too reliant on them, though. Like, you're blaming them for your problems, or you're kind of throwing your problems onto them like they're your therapist. And you need to learn how to not do that, and you need to learn how to just sit and be alone with your emotions and feel them and process them and understand them. And yeah, I'm also seeing that hobbies and passions are at some point in your life going to be very important to you and spark a lot of creativity and energy. So if you don't have any hobbies right now, that is something you want to look into, something you can do by yourself, essentially, so you can spend more quality time by yourself. I feel like one thing that people who select group number 3 may suffer with is your self-esteem, okay? Even though we kind of picked up on the fact that you are physically beautiful and you are, like, emotionally this very beautiful person, I feel like one of your biggest setbacks in life are just allowing yourself to be loved and to feel love for yourself and spend time by yourself and just have that healthy self-esteem. I wrote down your biggest setback and lesson in life is you are worthy of self-love. Give yourself time to process your emotions. Do yourself a favor and act on things you know you need to do, okay? So for example, one form of self-love, which is kind of like hard self-love, is acting on the things that you know you need to do. So for example, if you're feeling very depressed and your whole house is a mess, you know for a fact that cleaning your house would make you feel better. You have to have that self-love to pick yourself up and, clean up, okay? That is one form of self-love. It's just by acting on the things you know you have to act on. Or maybe you're depressed about not having a job, but you just won't go out and find a job, or you're too lazy, sorry for calling you out, to look up jobs online and ask around. One form of self-love you need to learn is just by acting. Maybe you feel really gross about yourself. Maybe, you've been getting out of shape and overweight, and it's really taking a toll on your mental health and your self-esteem, and you know that you need to work out, you know you need to go to the gym. One form of self-love is kicking yourself in the butt and getting up and doing it, just taking action on your life. And that is why you have choice reversed and the 4 of arrows, rest. I think please don't hate me, group number 3. I think laziness and procrastination might be something you struggle with at times. That's fine. I totally do too, all the time, actually. But this you need to learn this very unique variety of self-love where you love yourself enough to do hard things and to challenge yourself and to just get up and do something you might not want to do in the moment, but needs to be done. There's this constant battle of what's the word I'm looking for? There's this constant battle of instant gratification versus long-term happiness and success. And I feel like naturally you guys might go for the instant gratification. Yeah, I have to clean my whole house, but I'd rather just sit and watch TV. Or, yeah, I should probably go on a diet and go to the gym, but instead I'm not gonna do that because that's a lot of work. Things like that. And it's funny, honestly, it is funny, but also at the same time you're only kicking yourself in the butt. So I feel like you need to, that's just something you might struggle with from time to time, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But the good news is, around people and friends and family, you're always that person that helps people rest and relax. You have a very healing, comfortable energy. People naturally feel comfortable around you, and even some of the most shyest, closed off type of people have no problem being your friend and talking to you because you're just such a comfortable energy. I don't know how to describe it. You'd be really great in the mental health field, or even at high stress, or I don't know, like high anxiety jobs or dealing with people like that, you'd be really great because you have a naturally calming energy. Maybe working with special needs people, working with, I don't even know, like just hard jobs. Like you're just naturally a lax person, totally comfortable, and people love you for it. Like you're very loved by people, and I feel like one of the biggest reasons why you entered this life is so you can form these deep friendships and these deep relationships and have a nice, beautiful family and just kind of spread that type of love, because the world needs more people to people love, okay, more interpersonal love, and your friends really feel like your friends, and your family really feels like family. Actually, friends even feel like family, and your romantic relationships, they love you so deeply. Like you're just here to love, and you're a very loving individual, very sentimental, and you're totally comfortable with your emotions, even though you might at some point in your life have to learn how to process those emotions in a healthier way. You've never had an issue being labeled an emotional person because you understand that emotion is beauty. So yeah. What else did I write down? We have perception here, and your perception changes your reality, and I think it's important for you guys to realize, like, for example, if you keep repeating a phrase or a belief that makes you have one certain type of perception, you're only going to see the world in that perception. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for example, if you say I'm trying to use an example that's not offensive. Like if you say something like only douchebags drive trucks, you're then gonna have that perception and only see a bunch of douchebags that are awful people driving trucks. And that goes for like other things. Like if you have a certain perception about an ethnicity of people, or a certain perception about yourself, or a certain perception about an individual, you're only going to see them in that light. And that could be kind of closed-minded. And also it will kind of lack your intelligence. And I feel like with the perception card, we have third eye open here as well. Your whole life you're going to be constantly learning more and more, so I definitely never give up on your education, ever. Like always keep educating yourself, and always try to force yourself to have an open mind and to change your own perception. You can change your own perception, you can change your own self-esteem by changing your behavior, changing your words. So for example, if you have a negative self-esteem, and your perception is like, I'm ugly, like I'm disgusting, blah, blah, blah. Every time you look in the mirror, stop yourself from thinking that, and instead force your perception to change by saying, actually, I'm beautiful, and life is beautiful, and everything's great, and I'm gorgeous. Like that is how you change your perception. So be very mindful about your perception on certain groups of people, on yourself, things like that, and always strive to learn more and to be open-minded, okay? And you know, you're naturally a loving person, but over time, don't let your negative perceptions turn into bitterness and turn that love into something, you know, I also feel like with your career, you have a unique career path and a unique life path that's not traditional. And you know, this isn't like you're like, you know, doctor, lawyer, things like that. Like it's a very interesting, unique, it's a different career path that you're choosing. It's a different life path in general that you're choosing. Maybe you have I don't know. You know what I'm talking about because you're you. I can't give specific examples because there's many people watching this. But I do feel like a certain passion or fire within your soul is gonna light your career and your life up. So for example, if you're like super passionate about movies, like you're gonna pursue something in, you know, movies or cinema or whatever. Maybe you're super passionate about helping others and mental health and psychology, and that's gonna really fuel your whole life. Like you're the type of person, I feel, that invests yourself wholly into your career or into your life purpose, whatever that is. But it's very important for you to have a life purpose, and I feel like you're actually gonna find a purpose easily, okay? Like you have a lot of fire within you, and everything you do has meaning, has purpose. Even the objects you have, everything has its own story, it has its own meaning. You're very sentimental at the core of your being, and you're just very lovely. So yeah, thank you for existing, group number 3. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear how this resonated with you in the comment box, and if you want a personal reading with me, the link to that is in the description. Bye. If you selected group number 4, this is for you. You selected the tiger jasper, and I already have your cards out. I already wrote down almost a page of, you know, different notes for you and who you are. So let's just start out off. You got the one of air reversed. Let's just focus on the cards. And this is what it looks like upright. It's a little dragon. You got faith. Your 2 astrology cards was Taurus and Sagittarius. You could be one of these signs, both of these signs, or have these signs a lot in your natal chart, or even just exhibit the characteristics of these signs, or be surrounded by people with these signs. Very good though. This is an earth sign, this is a fire sign. I love both of them. That makes a nice lava. Real hot. You're hottie. You have the Ace of Stones, 9 of Vessels, generosity. The Ace of Stones was the foundation of life. And then you have the 4 of Pentacles reversed, the 3 of Cups, the Hanged Man reversed, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, so let's get into it. What do these cards mean? Okay, so essentially you guys are like very kind, like you're like very giving. Obviously you have the generous card, like you give a lot of yourself, and you really are here to be, I feel like you're a light worker. Like you're here to help evolve humanity, to help evolve us so that we can be more in tune with nature, more happy, just better overall. Like you really came here to help humanity, right? And you're just very generous with your time and your energy. You'll literally give the shirt off of your back for someone. You'll literally hop in front of a bullet for anyone, even if you don't know them. Like you're just very giving, okay? And you support everyone. You support those who are beaten down by a lot of other people. You support those who are misunderstood a lot. Like you're just very understanding and very generous and very giving. So yeah, I have written down charity, light work, saving the world. You literally came here to save the world. World traveler, and we do see this with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about, I've never met a Sagittarius that didn't want to travel the world, or that hasn't really. Like you traveling is going to be very important in your life, and or even just learning about other cultures and other people. You really like to get a varied perspective on things because you understand that the way you were brought up and where you come from, you know, there's pros and cons to that, and you're not like the best thing around. Like you want to go see the world and help the world. All right, that's what Sagittarius is all about. What did I have? Hippie vibes. You're basically a hippie. I literally wrote down that you guys are basically a hippie, okay? Because you're all about peace and love and healing and Mama Earth and the nature and traveling, and you're just very giving of yourself. Like you give. And I wrote in very big caps, try not to martyr yourself. And we see that with the Hanged Man reversed. It's like, you know, you're put in these difficult situations in life, and you're giving your time and energy to help those around you, to help the world, but you become a martyr when you're giving so much of yourself that you literally give everything, okay? That's what a martyr is. Needlessly giving all of your energy without receiving anything back. And this is something that you really have to pay attention to and avoid. Your time and energy are valuable. Charge what you're worth. So like if you're a freelancer or an entrepreneur or a small business owner, make sure you're charging what you're worth and you're not undervaluing yourself or pricing your products. And same thing with your energy in general. It's important, and you might notice in your life you have valued yourself at certain points, and you've given so much more than you receive in friendships and relationships. Like maybe you're constantly giving, shoulder to cry on to your friend and always giving them advice and compliments on your time, and they don't give you the same back. Or in relationships, you're doing everything. You're buying them flowers, you're rubbing their feet, you're talking to them, you know, you're just totally supporting the whole entire relationship and they just sit on their phone all day and don't do anything. Like, you're gonna have to be mindful of situations where you give your everything and you get nothing in return. That is called martyring yourself, and it's needless, it's dumb, and you know, it's not honorable to give all of your energy to a cause and to get nothing back. Like, that isn't honorable, and that is not what spirit wants for us. That's not what Mama Earth or your higher self wants. You can't give from an empty cup. Okay, so make sure that you're being taken care of first. I definitely feel like if you chose pile number 4 with this jasper stone, you are an empath, and it's important for you to ground yourself and to make sure your needs are met before you start giving to other people. And you know, take care of yourself first, so that you have enough energy, you have enough love, so that you can give in abundance. Okay, because if you're like nearing empty on your gas tank of life, how are you gonna sit here and give all this advice to your friends and, you know, put in all this energy into your relationships and do overtime at your job? Like, you're just, it's not happening. Don't martyr yourself. That's a very important lesson that you will learn in your life that will vastly improve your life from there on out. It's not selfish. It is called taking care of yourself. Your time, and yeah, we already read that. I wrote in asterisks, this is very important. Make sure you're receiving as much as you give. We ran over that. We do see some sleep problems and insomnia here, or very vivid dreams. I'm just feeling like you're a very vivid dreamer. Maybe even into astral projection, lucid dreaming. But overall, you're a night owl. Even if you sleep at night, like, your dreams are extremely active. And you might actually have trouble sleeping at certain points in your life in general. This is just insomnia, staying up, having a very overactive mind. Like, you're a little bit anxious. You're more on the anxious side because you just want to, like, get as much done as possible. Like, you want to evolve as quickly as possible. You want the world to evolve as quickly as possible, but there's no rush, guys, and that's where your Taurus energy should come in. Slow down, relax. Can't give from an empty cup. I wrote down liberal AF, progressive AF. Like, you're in the future. You're very future oriented. You're a light worker. You're trying to evolve. Like, look at this. First off, this is such a beautiful card. It's faith. Okay, you're one with Mama Earth. You're totally in tune with animals and nature. I just feel like you're a hippie. I don't, like, you live your life from love. You love everyone you encounter, and you're very giving, and you're just underappreciated for that. So I just want to say thank you for being you, because overall you're a little bit underappreciated for everything you give into your relationships, into literally everything. You're very loving. You have a strong sense of faith, and I feel like spirituality and faith is going to be very important to you, if not now, then in the future, because, like, you just have this divine connection to Mother Earth. You're like one of those people that believe that animals are, you know, as intelligent as us, and humans can form a telepathic bond with them. You believe that plants are conscious entities, like, they're not just there, like, they're real beings worthy of love and attention. To some people this sounds really out there and weird. To you, this is just natural. Like, everything has a spirit. You might identify strongly with Native American beliefs. That was just a random thought that came into my head. Just very holistic beliefs, shamanism, and just noticing the spirit and the love within everything. Like, you're just great. Like, you're just great. We also see this love in this 3 of Cups here. This shows that you're gonna have a really deep, like, set of friends all throughout your life. So if you're, like, kind of like in between friends or in between friend groups right now, it's not gonna stay that way for long, because you're, like, destined to be a part of this beautiful community. You're destined to have very deep connections, and to love others on this deep level, and you know, you're gonna do that and it's gonna be beautiful. And I also feel like you're gonna be a leader in whatever communities you choose to exist in. A leader in your physical community perhaps, or like a part of the spiritual community, or maybe if you're like in a church or something, or like the Peace Corps, I don't know. You're gonna be a leader there, or maybe if you like donate to a charity at certain points in time, you're gonna be a leader there. Like, you're just a natural born leader, and you're a light worker. You're doing good for the planet. You just have to remember that you have to take care of yourself first and your own energies. And I feel like you're the type of person that does not invest enough, which is weird because you have this Taurus energy. You appreciate fine quality music and food and items and things like that, but yet you don't give it to yourself. I think the message here is to invest in fine quality clothes that make you feel confident and comfortable. Invest in high quality foods that are healthy and, you know, are delicious. Invest in these nice items for yourself, because that is how you fill up your tank. That's how you fill up your tank of your energy tank of life, is by taking care of yourself first and charging yourself enough. Like, don't be so charitable to where you're now broke. And oh my god, I think it was my mom that said something like it, like, I don't donate to charity because I am the charity. like I'm the one that needs the charity. Don't be like that. Like, don't give so much of your energy that you're now the one in need of receiving, and you're now the one in need of these charitable acts. Okay, take care of yourself first and then be charitable. That's a very important message for you. Yeah. Basically, a hippie, loves Mama Earth, strong faith and spirituality. Yeah, we have this Four of Pentacles reversed, and this is kind of where I got that message of, you know, not investing in yourself enough, not investing in fine quality items for yourself. Money is important, okay? I hate to break to you, you're one of those hippies that are like, money's evil, man, or maybe you are, I don't know. Yeah, no, it's actually very important, and you're someone that deserves to have it, and you deserve to have these fine quality items because you're so giving and because you're so loving. Treat yourself with that same love. Have you ever watched Queer Eye on Netflix? If you haven't, it's a great show, and I totally recommend you watching it. But so watch that, okay, and you'll kind of understand what I'm getting at. All of the people they put on their shows are very like altruistic, giving individuals. They love others deeply. They give to charity. Like, they're very giving people, but they don't give themselves that same energy. And so then when they come into the show, it's like, you know, their appearance is falling apart, their home is a mess, like all of their clothes have like holes in it and are dirty, and it's just like, you're so giving but you won't give to yourself. That's the kind of vibe you're giving me, guys. Like, give to yourself first, okay? Because you deserve it, and you deserve that self-love, and you deserve fine things in life too. And not only that, but when you have those things and when you are taking care of yourself, you can actually help other people even more. So if you want to be this charitable, hippie-like, loving individual, you can do more good by taking care of yourself first. So make sure that, you know, you have your fancy clothes and your good food and, you know, a beautiful home to rest and relax in with nice things, because you deserve it, okay? Thank you guys for joining me. This has been a pleasure. Once you learn those things, you're gonna be like totally like in this enlightened state of mind, because we do have like Nine of Vessels, generosity, like they're like in this enlightened state here. So and you have the Ace of Stones. The foundation of life is, you know, earth. You need a roof over your head, you need clothes, you need food and water and protection. That's the foundation of life, okay? That's the bare minimum, and I feel like you neglect that from yourself, because this did come out in reverse initially, and it is next to the Four of Pentacles reversed. So you need to give yourself those basic things before you give to others, okay? And that's that. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a pleasure. You guys are psychic AF, by the way. Like, you are light workers at the maximum. Yeah, just want to throw that in there. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear how this resonated with you in the comment box down below. And if you want a personal reading with me, the link to that's in the description. Bye. Okay, if you selected group number 5, this is for you. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not wearing makeup. I look a little bit different. You know, I got caught up in life and wanted to finish this reading before tomorrow. So here we are. I already have your cards laid out. Boy, howdy, you guys. Literally, like, when I'm looking at these cards, I'm like, this is me. Like, these cards are me, and you'll see why in a few moments. But just know that if you selected this clearish quartz here and pile number 5, we are the same person. I would like to be your friend. I would like to get to know you because we're essentially the same. Although I shouldn't be that surprised, because obviously if you are energetically pulled into my video and into my channel, then clearly we have some similarities. But let's get into your reading. I got your cards out here. I did a whole page of automatic writing and just little notes. So let's see what your cards. First off, creepy, your astrology cards, you got Cancer and Capricorn, and this is what really freaked me out because I'm a Cancer sun, Capricorn moon, and I resonate very deeply with both of these signs. You could have these signs in your chart, or you can just overall like have these energies in your personality, or maybe even the people around you that you really like have these signs, but you definitely resonate with Cancer and Capricorn energies. So do I. Then you got this 4 of Fire, beautiful card, Queen of Water, and I will say you're the only pile thus far that had both of these cards upright, which is a good sign. Then you got the Archer, which I found freaky because it looks exactly like this card. By the way, I just shuffled these cards randomly. I didn't like select them personally, they popped out on their own, and I didn't even look at them until, you know, right before this reading when I wanted to do the automatic writing and kind of get a look into your cards, just so I'm not like sitting there like, oh, the whole reading. Then you got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, Page of Wands reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the 8 of Wands reversed. So all of these cards are in reverse, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And then you have the 7 of Arrows, Insecurity. Okay, so guys, you have Cancer and Capricorn energies, and that's like your personality. These are actually opposite signs. Cancer is water sign, and Capricorn is its exact opposite, which is an earth sign. And yeah, so they're actually very similar, but also very unlike for different reasons. First off, both of these signs are tough as nails, and I actually wrote that down in this somewhere. Oh my god, where is it? I remember writing it down. Tough as nails, where are you? Whatever, we'll go through that later. But yeah, both of these signs are super tough, because if you think of a Cancer, this is like a crab with a hard outer shell and then ooey gooey soft insides, but this is like you have very strong boundaries. You are unmessable with, okay? Like, no one's messing with you, that is for sure. And then Capricorn's kind of that same energy just naturally. They're like very work-oriented, like, I'm gonna get my money and mind my business type of sign. I love Capricorn. Y'all are the CEOs, the business ladies and gentlemen. You know, you get stuff done, you know? So that's great. I love these, guys, I vibe with you. I just wanna like tear my heart out and just smother you with it because I love you. I love your energies. We're the same person. Oh my god. Anyways, let's dive into this. You had this 4 of Fire here, and you know, I wrote down here extreme work ethic and ambition. This is like literally like seeing a target and going after it, and we see the same exact card essentially with the Archer. And both of these, the Archer represents having a goal in sight, having a desired future in mind and going after it at all costs, and you're going to get it. You're not giving up. You have a very high work ethic. You are extremely loyal as well. And you know what? Cancer and Capricorn are both very loyal signs, not only to your partners but to yourself. And to your goals. You're not going to give up on your goals. You're not going to give up on your dreams. You're going to achieve them, whether you like it or not. So yeah, you're excellent work ethic. And you know, honestly, like, y'all are great. Like, Sets a target / goal and will achieve it, okay? All right, I wrote down as a little note, this idea of I'm doing absolutely everything right. Why haven't I achieved my goal yet? This is what all these cards are in reverse. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I'm working so hard at building my career. Why haven't I gotten the money yet? Why haven't I got the success yet? Or, I'm working so hard to reach my body goals. Like, I'm trying all these diets, I'm, working out. Why am I not, reaching my body goals? Or, I'm super giving, I'm super loving. Why aren't I receiving the same energy back in my relationships? Or I'm the best friend I could possibly be. I go out of my way, I research, how to be the best friend I could possibly be. Why aren't I seeing the same results back? Why am I going nowhere? It's almost like I'm feeling blocked. This is something you're going to deal with in your life. And if you're watching this, you're probably dealing with this right now, actually. This time in your life where you're doing all this research, all of this self-improvement, you have a super high work ethic, you're super loyal, you give to these people, you are the best person you could possibly be. Queen of Water, you're super loving and empathetic. You could not possibly be any better than you already are. Why aren't I seeing results? That's the question. Why aren't you seeing results? And it's a frustrating feeling. And the reason why is because you're being blocked, okay? You're being blocked. What did I write down? Your goals will not be unlocked until you fully learn self-value. And I know that sounds like a loaded phrase, like self-value. I value myself. I have Capricorn energy. I'm the best. I value myself. Well, you do have some deep-rooted insecurities here, though, and I'll tell you why. I wrote it down. Value your time and energy, relationships, jobs, etc. The time that you put into those things, okay? So you're putting all this energy into a relationship. Are you getting the same energy back? You're putting all this energy and time into your job. Are you charging enough? Are you getting paid enough? Are you given enough breaks and vacations? You're as tough as nails. There it is. You're as tough as nails. Just because you can tolerate a lot does not mean you should tolerate a lot. And this especially comes to relationships. Some of you guys might have been in abusive relationships or just, awful situations. Or maybe even growing up, you had a tough love mentality from your siblings or your parents. Just very tough love, cracking insults, things like that. So whatever the case is, you're as tough as nails, okay? And you can tolerate a lot. You have a very thick skin, all right? And that's that Cancer energy coming out. You have a thick skin. You can tolerate a lot, but just because you can tolerate someone being, non-communicative to you, not really being healthy with the way they communicate with you, and it's made worse because you have this Queen of Water and this Cancer energy, which is very psychic, very empathetic as well. You can kind of see what people are trying to say. You understand people's feelings without them having to say it. But just because you can understand what they're feeling without them saying it doesn't mean you should tolerate, things like not being told I love you or I'm sorry. Just because you know how they feel doesn't mean that you should tolerate them not expressing that in a healthy way. It's almost like you're living in the fifth dimension, okay? And you're kind of neglecting your third dimension. You're neglecting your physical, relationships. So for example, you can kind of read the minds of other people and understand where they're coming from, but just because you can understand where they're coming from doesn't mean that it's okay for them to not say I'm sorry, or it's okay for them to not express their love to you. Just because you can pick up on it subconsciously does not mean that it makes it okay for them to not express that to you in a physical sense by saying it or acting on it, things like that. So you tolerate so much in your relationships, and you don't realize how much you tolerate in your you tolerate a lot, and you might not even realize that yet. So ask your spirit guides right now, please allow me to see the things I tolerate that I should not tolerate. Please enlighten me on where I can give myself some more love and value, okay? What things should I no longer tolerate anymore? And I think that's really your key to success here. What shouldn't I tolerate anymore is a great question to ask yourself. All right, long road to success. I have that written down quite large. Long road to success. Like we said, you you have this archer mentality, clearly. Like, you're a go-getter. You might be an entrepreneur. I feel like I say this with everyone. You might be an entrepreneur or a small business owner or a freelancer, or just someone very determined and dedicated, or just, you know what, it doesn't even have to do with your career. You could just have a goal in mind and like you're not giving up on that goal. Like maybe you want to lose a certain amount of weight, you're not giving up. Maybe you want to, you know, have a certain type of relationship, you're not giving up. So yeah, you have these goals in mind and you do literally everything to reach these goals, but then there's this blockage like, why haven't I reached it yet? I'm doing everything I can. And you will, I kind of feel like we're repeating ourselves, but you will find that that blockage will be lifted as you value yourself, as you release insecurities, learn to love yourself, and learn not to tolerate things that you have been tolerating, because you do deserve the best. And it's almost like you have to convince yourself that you deserve fine things in life. Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Queen of Pentacles upright is someone who knows that they deserve fine things. They deserve nice clothes, nice makeup, nice hair, quality food, a beautiful home. Like, you deserve these things, okay? Because you work hard. So why tolerate not having those things? Why tolerate, you know, staying in jobs that don't pay you enough for those basic things? Why tolerate, you know, being with people who don't give you the love that you know you deserve? Things like that. Like, just because you can find your own way to be happy in situations like that does not mean you should tolerate it, okay? And things will start moving forward. Eight of Wands, but it did come out in reversed. Things will move forward once you learn to stop tolerating stuff that you shouldn't. So anyways, let's get into the good stuff. Those were all good things though. I feel like this is just, well, everything we went over is like your major life lesson, but let's get into your beautiful side and who you are, really. Extremely loving, but can turn off emotions on a dime. And this is a very Capricorn trait. So you are like the most loyal, dedicated, determined person in all relationships. Like friendships, you give 12700 billion%, more than even other friends do. Relationships, same thing. You give like literally everything. Like, you love very deeply, and that is something that Cancers and Capricorns have in common. You love very deeply. However, both signs have strong boundaries, and with Capricorn, it's like once someone does you dirty, once someone starts taking that love for granted, oh, you turn off your emotions so quickly. Once you realize that something's unhealthy or toxic, you are like almost unnaturally good at letting that thing go. Like, you could be like best friends with someone for like 15 years, and then, you know, suddenly you like wake up one morning and you realize they're actually really toxic to me. I'm putting in way more effort into this relationship. I'm not happy here. I feel drained. And it's like, boom, you're not friends with them anymore. That's it. And you're not even sad about, you know, leaving the friendship, because you know that in the long term, it's going to be better for you anyways, and that, you know, it was time to go. You're very intuitive, and, you know, you're okay with endings, and that you're naturally okay with ending things. And, you know, some people might look at that like, oh my God, you're crazy, you're a psychopath. But you realize, like, no, it's just I have super healthy emotions, and you do. That's your qualities here with the Queen of Water. You are excellent with your emotions, and that is why you can let go of things so easily, because you know that everything has to come to a close at some point, and you know that once something, you know, is no longer beneficial and it's toxic, like, there's nothing you can do, so you let it go. But also, when something is really great and loving and beneficial in your life, you fully appreciate that. You're fully grateful for it. So that's just very beautiful. You love very healthily, and you have healthy emotions. So that is just great, especially today where there's so much like mental health issues and things like that. I'm not saying you always had, you know, perfect emotional state. You definitely had to work hard to get it. But again, we have this archer mentality here. You might have suffered from depression in the past, and you said, I'm not going to have depression anymore. That's it. I'm going to work better on this. And then you studied and studied and studied, you know, different ways to, you know, be happy and, you know, fix the physical aspect of depression and the mental aspect of depression. Like, you have a goal and you reach it. Like, that's who you are. You're a gentle, empathetic soul. and again, yeah, you understand why people do the things they do. You're almost telepathic, okay? And I will say, I myself identify as a shaman and a psychic. You know, I firmly believe that I have strong psychic abilities and a gosh darn strong connection to spirit. Even if like my words get jumbled sometimes and I don't really portray messages that easily, I know mentally like I'm dumb connected to spirit, okay? And my favorite psychics also have a lot of Cancer and Capricorn in their charts. So you are very psychic, and I can tell you this right now. And not only that, but you got the Queen of Water to clarify that. That's the Queen of Cups. Very psychic, very empathetic. You just have to learn that just because you're empathetic and can kind of read people's minds, you have to still expect them to act accordingly on the physical realm. Like, they should still treat you with love and show that they love you in the physical realm. You know, just because you pick up their feelings for you doesn't mean that makes it okay for them to not show their love. Just because you know someone feels bad about a situation doesn't mean it's, you know, you shouldn't expect an apology from them, things like that. So that's why we are being told here to really evaluate what you tolerate in life, because empaths tolerate a lot more than they should. And once you learn to stop doing that, you're really free and you're really going to expand rapidly. So it's almost like a slow, steady growth to success. And then like once you kind of stop tolerating stuff you shouldn't anymore and start truly valuing yourself, it's like boom, success. Like right, it goes like long, steady growth and then whoosh, success. That's your life path, okay? Strong, intuitive empath, Can I just zoom in here? Psychic AF. I literally wrote that down. Psychic AF. So there you go. Romantic, nurturing, and maintains relationships. So you understand, you have this wisdom that so many people lack nowadays, that relationships are things to be nurtured and maintained. It's not just like you get married to someone and then that's it. It's like, no, it's something you constantly have to grow and work with and evolve, things like that. So you have this very ancient wisdom. Ancient, apparently today, it's like considered like, you know, totally ancient. Like people don't put anything in their relationships. They don't realize like you actually have to put effort, but you have that wisdom. And so you're a master at emotions and relationships. You're just naturally great at it. You have that gift, okay? Emotional honesty and vulnerability is your strength. You're totally vulnerable with your emotions, totally upfront. Like if you're in love with someone, you're gonna say, hey, I'm in love with you. If you have a problem with someone, you're gonna be like, hey, this really bothers me, let's talk about it. That's your strength, and you realize that as long as you're emotionally honest and vulnerable, nothing could really go wrong, because you're only going to be connected to your truth. As you speak your truth, you're connected to what's true to you. The epitome of love. And that about summarizes it. You're the epitome of love. Like super psychic, super empathetic. You might struggle with maintaining boundaries, but once you do learn how to have those boundaries and not tolerate things that should not be tolerated, you're really gonna thrive in life. Super psychic. Yeah, and it's gonna be a slow growth to your goals, but once you it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Once you realize I'm worth it, I'm valuable, I'm no longer going to tolerate even my own bad behaviors like procrastination, it's almost like then, boom, your goals are met. So yeah, you have this magic about you of manifesting. You're a wonderful manifester. And if you've been having a hard time manifesting things like money or love or like a home or something like that recently, I really want you to know and realize that you have to focus on your self-value. That is the missing link that you've been looking for. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings down below. And if you want a personal reading with me, the link to that is in the description box. Bye. Okay, and last but not least, if you selected group number 6, this is for you. Or if you chose the selenite, this is for you. I honestly didn't do that much automatic writing for you guys, about half a page. Everyone else kind of got a full page. I don't know what it was. I was just kind of, you know, picking up your vibe real easily, and I just didn't think I needed to really write that much. So let's get into your cards. You guys got, for your astrology cards, Aquarius and Virgo. You can have the signs, have it in your natal chart a lot. or even just like exhibit the same type of personality as these signs, even if you aren't these signs. Or a lot of people around you could be Aquarius or Virgo, whatever. You're just attracted to this type of energy and you exhibit the traits of Aquarius and Virgo, which are both great signs. Then you got abundance, and let's just focus on the cards here. Abundance, I think this is beautiful. You have a dragon here, a woman, some animals, a cornucopia. Is that what this is called? 7 of water. Beautiful card as well. And notice how her third eye is open, but her eyes are closed, and the fish flowing. You might also exhibit some Pisces energy here as well. King of Vessels, Heron. 2 of Arrows, Injustice. 4 of Swords reversed. King of Swords. The High Priestess. And the 7 of Cups. Okay, so let's just get the focus back on me. Guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry if I'm weird right now. The overall energy here is that you are just totally this go with the flow type of person. You're unbothered. You are just unbothered. Like nothing bothers you. You know, other people's drama, whatever. Other people's, you know, nonsense and dumb political arguments and nonsense. You're just like, guys, relax, let's just go with the flow. And you're so go with the flow and so good at being go with the flow that a lot of high anxiety personality types, a lot of type A personalities, they can sometimes even be bothered by you because they're just like, how do you not worry? How do you not stress? And then you like are perfect at everything you do. I don't get it. And it's because you're not worried and you're not stressed that you just end up being perfect at what you do. You've always been this intuitive person. You're actually reminding me of a very specific memory I have. Oh my god, I used to have this friend in high school and she used to get so angry at me because I didn't really study that much, and you know, I was always kind of like smoking some weed and not stressed out, and you know, I mean, I really absorbed what I learned in class through like really listening to like lectures and things like that and reading the material on my own rather than like, you know, doing homework or things like that. She just didn't get it. She's like, how do you not stress and your grades are better than me? I put all this effort into studying and blah, 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 blah. We have the same grade. It just gets on my nerves. She was genuinely mad at me. And that's what I'm picking up with you guys. Like, you're just so go with the flow that it like really bothers people how unbothered you are. But don't worry, like that is perfect. Do not change a thing. Like you don't, why would you want to change a thing? The people who get bothered by your peace and your tranquility are weird, okay? So don't worry about that. And also, I thought it was really cool that you had the High Priestess card and then this 7 of Cups card here. She has a third eye open. This is very psychic energy. You are extremely intuitive, okay? You just kind of know what to do when the time comes, and you're not worried about the future because you know that no matter what happens in the future, you have your intuition. You're gonna be able to overcome it. In the past, you've overcome everything, you know? You were faced with a situation and you acted intuitively with what felt best in that moment, and here you are today. And in the future, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna be able to feel what feels best in that moment. You really can feel what the right answer is. Even in things like in high school, in tests and things, you might not even study the material, but you can kind of just feel what the right answer is, you know? You're a very intuitive person. I'm not saying don't study, guys. I'm just saying you're intuitive. Let me drink some tea. Get on your level of zen. And that's very important. And I feel like you are a natural born leader because of how cool, calm, and collected you are, even in situations that are dangerous, even in situations that are stressful, where people are freaking out. You're that one that remains calm and you're like, it's okay, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's the best action forward. So you really are a natural born leader. And I even wrote down here, where to go? Managers, being a boss, just being in control of things. You're a natural born leader. You might have a job in management. You might be someone's boss. You might be your own boss. I don't know. Or not, whatever. It's just, you're the type of person that would be totally qualified for positions like that. Like, I would want you to be my boss if I had a boss. Like, you're just naturally good at leading, and that is something you should do, okay? Even if you like work for yourself or whatever, or even if you're like a creative, do so in a way that leads the people. And you know what? That is very Aquarius energy. Aquariuses are some of the best leaders. I don't know, there's two types of Aquariuses, I feel like. There's like, it should be two signs, because there are the Aquariuses that are super like forward thinking, amazingly strong leaders, you know, changing the world, going all over the place, doing great things with their lives. And then I feel like there's Aquariuses that are just so relaxed that they're just like not caring about the world. Like, they're just smoking weed 24/7, having all this sex, like relaxing, like woo, like hippie type of Aquariuses. Very different energy. I feel like you have a little bit of both here, because you did get the 7 of Cups and 2 of Arrows in Justice. And you know, I feel like with this, it's almost like you need to like get your future straight, okay? Like, what is it that you want to achieve in your life? What career do you want? What kind of life do you want to live? I feel like you're so go with the flow sometimes that you don't set these basic like goals up for yourself that will give you you have no direction in life. I feel like an old person, oh my god, like, you know, like old people complain to teenagers and they're like, your life has no direction, what are you doing, where are you going? Like, yeah, get some direction, guys. Which is weird though. It's weird that I'm saying that, because you also have the Virgo energy, and I feel like Virgos typically have a lot of direction. But you know what I think it is? I think that you're evolving into your Virgo type of energy, okay? Even if you're not a Virgo, like, you're evolving into this type of person so that these are balanced. And that's why we had the Injustice card, even though there's like balances right here, because like right now you're too much in your Aquarius energy, but you're learning to become more Virgo as well, which is a good thing, because Virgo is going to help ground you. This is an earth sign. This is like setting some basic realistic goals for yourself. Like, okay, well, I want a job in this field and I want to be making this much so that I could buy a house that looks like this and I could do this with my life. Like, having those basic goals rather than being so go with the flow that, like, you know, you just don't, like, you're so zen that you'd be comfortable living on a park bench and traveling the world like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just so peaceful, so vibing with life that you would still be happy even if, you know, you were jobless and, you know, just exploring the world. Because like, it's like you put meaning to everything, because even if that was the case, you'd probably just say like, oh, I'm on a spiritual journey, I'm trying to find the meaning of life. Like, you're just so awesome, I want to be your friend. But yeah, you're evolving to be more organized, to be more of a to-do list maker, and to get some ambitions around here, okay? Which is really cool. And you know what? You have the King of Swords here, and I feel like you're really gonna embrace this energy and really be this leader, be this organized individual. Like, it's so strange. Like, there's a major transformation in your life. It's like but you're still harnessing that Aquarius, like, go with the flow, wild child energy. It's like you have that, and then you have this super organized, super punctual, leading type of individual who's ambitious and gets stuff done. You a boss lady or man, like, or whatever. You like two completely different things into one human body. That is you, and I love it about you, okay? Now, we also had this Four of Swords reversed and the Injustice card, and you know, these are kind of similar in my book. I do feel like, and I'm not trying to scare anyone, and so this is something that has already happened in your life. There's been some type of situation that kind of like damaged you, maybe like broke your heart, or, you know, some type of traumatic situation you went through. And you know, there might have been a period for a little bit where you kind of lost touch with that wild child spirit, with that that go with the flow free-flowing spirit, and it was at that moment that your Virgo energy started happening and you started becoming more organized. Oh my God, like something really big happened, something traumatic. I'm thinking back, you know, sometimes when spirit's trying to describe an energy to me, they'll use a personal example that I have, and this situation is making me think of my shamanic initiation and how traumatic that was, and how I basically like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's a long story. But yeah, I was very traumatized after that, and you know, things were rough. And you know, before that I was this go with the flow wild child type of person, and then after that I'm like, yeah, I'm never like doing substances again, and I am gonna start making my bed every morning and making goals in my life. And you know, like trauma does that to you. It's weird. Like if you like post-traumatic stress disorder, things like that, it will literally completely change your personality, sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better. Almost all the time it's like 50-50, you know. Yeah, that sucked, but I'm better for it anyways. So you know, it's just weird. Like hard life situations has this tendency to make us more serious about life and more like realizing our what's the word, our mortality. So it's like you've been through something in life that was kind of, it might have been like a near-death experience or a traumatic life event, even, you know, just like a really bad breakup it could even be. But anyways, that really kind of made you like force you to kind of get your act together. And as you are healing from that, if you're still in the healing process, some of you guys are healed from it. It could be either way, to be honest. You're kind of getting back in touch with that wild child spirit that you are naturally, but you're still keeping the organization and the ambition and the goal-driven leadership qualities that you gained from your life trauma. Does that make sense? Like you went through this trauma, this big thing. And you know what? We do have the High Priestess here. So I'm just saying, you might have even had your own shamanic initiation that completely turned your life upside down. You know, it might not just be me, and that might not just be the example Spirit gave me. They might literally be saying, like, you had your own shamanic initiation, and you're going to be this spiritual light worker, and you're going to do good on the planet. I mean, or not. Whatever, moral of the story is you've gone through something that was very hard, and it forced you to become an adult. At whatever age, I don't know, it's going to be different for everyone. But as you healed from that, or are healing from it, you have/are gaining back that wild child energy, and then that is making you into this person with these two like kind of polarizing energies, like this free-spirited, go with the flow, wild child, super intuitive, like loving life, with this super organized though, and getting stuff done, and like being a leader, like being a boss lady or man. I always go with the lady reference because YouTube gives me statistics, and like 98% of my audience is ladies. But if you're a man, I apologize. Yeah, you also had this, speaking of men, King of Vessels. This is another very intuitive card, very psychic. This is essentially masculine energy that's very respectful and sensitive. I feel like if you have any men in your life, the guys in your life, I feel, regardless of what your gender is, are very soft and a little bit feminine, and more in touch with their, no, I'm not gonna say feminine, more in touch with their emotional sides, like Mr. Rogers, or like a very artsy type of guy, or, you know, very poetic, maybe like your dad or your brothers or friends or whatever are in touch with their creativity. And I don't know why I'm getting this. Actually, you know what? It does make sense. You had the King of Vessels and King of Swords. I feel like the men in your life, or the masculine people in your life, it has nothing to do with gender really. Just your energy really. They have a profound impact on you, and they're going to be some of your biggest support groups in life. I feel like you're just someone that feels more comfortable around masculine energy, and I feel like that might be because you yourself, regardless of your gender, are a very feminine person or operating from feminine energy, you know. And I don't mean that like, let's just say you're a man watching this, like I don't mean to offend you by saying like you're super feminine. It's just more so I'm talking about the energy. So you could be like the most manly looking, manly attitude type of person, but you operate from feminine energy just because you operate from this intuitive, go with the flow, creative state, and that itself is feminine energy, okay? So you have very feminine energy, which is why you tend to feel comfortable around masculine energy. And I feel like the men and masculine people in your life have such a big influence on you, and you might feel more comfortable around men and masculine people, and that's totally fine. You know, there was a very long period of time where I like used to beat myself up because I just had a hard time making friends with feminine people and females essentially, but I was totally fine around men. I just never got it, and I think you literally just cracked open the answer in my brain. It's like I'm so emotional and so like intuitive that I just need that balance in my life. But really, when it comes down to it, and now I'm just like chatting, we should create that balance within ourselves. We shouldn't have to rely on the other people externally from us to balance ourselves out. We should have this balanced energy of feminine and masculine, which brings us back to your reading, because we did say you are naturally this feminine, intuitive, psychic person, creative as all heck, and then at some point in your life you're gonna have this like life-changing epiphany or moment or trauma, whatever it is. I'm not trying to scare you guys, as it doesn't have to be a trauma necessarily, although most of you guys already went through this, so you already know what I'm talking about. That's gonna like put you back into touch with the masculine energy you were missing out on, which is the structure, the routine, the physical aspect of like writing a list, making a goal, and actually going out and doing it rather than just dreaming it up and daydreaming it and not actually taking action on it. It'll wake you up to actually living your life and realizing your mortality, and you have to do these things now. And it'll also wake you up to like setting boundaries for yourself, because you're this beautiful, intuitive, feminine spirit, and you have to have an equal amount of masculine energy to protect that. And you protect that by setting boundaries and not letting people walk all over you. You protect it by actually taking action on your ideas that are sent in from the feminine aspect of yourself. The masculine aspect of yourself takes those feminine, beautiful, creative ideas and writes a goal down. It says, okay, here's this beautiful, feminine, like amazing, psychically channeled in idea that I have for myself. And then the masculine energy goes, all right, let's make this a plan and let's take action on it. That's why you have to have balanced masculine and feminine energy, guys. And you, group number 6, you are gonna have that in your life, and you're gonna go far with it. So once you make this realization, once you have this experience, which you either already have or are going through currently, so I'm not trying to like, you know, make you feel bad if you haven't had it yet, because you have if you're watching this, or you're going through it currently if you had this. You're gonna go far after that, okay? You need that balance, that justice. That's why you got justice, okay? You're gonna be going through this process of balancing the masculine and feminine energies out. I'm glad we cracked this code together, okay? I feel like I just had an epiphany on camera. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, that's who you are. Comment down below what you thought, how this resonated with you, if it was accurate. Yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video too, because it really helps the algorithm, and you know, we want a good algorithm out here. If you want a personal reading with me, the link to that's in the description box. Bye.